So, said, he found the problem with I9 in the filter. He fixed this, and I just deployed to fix the production.
Oh.
So, I need to check it once again, but I cannot do the problem in my IE when I enable the emulation.
It didn't.
No, so everything works fine now. So,
When you did the emulation before, you saw the problem?
I didn't do this. I can do it in staging. It looks like it's okay. He also found another problem. In NGS management, we have the checkbox on the top, the table header, so you can select column. Yes.
Also in the delete.
What?
Delete you also have these.
Yeah, on this also.
Please imagine on the filter.
No, you can select the.
No, in the settings, you have NGS management where you can see all the doctors, hospitals.
Oh, that entity.
So you can select multiples and do action. Like delete.
Okay, I'll look after it.
And I also told them yesterday that it's required now to assign users permission manage entities in settings tab, in settings module, to so they can add doctors and hospitals in lab. They check this and it's not true. You don't need to assign it. So there is something else in the queue. It's not what you told me.
No, this was an override. This was a way to get these users up and running.
But permission managed entities. It's nothing to do with the right to add.
I can show you with this test case. When you remove it, it fails. When you add it, it works. So we ran that.
Do something else. Then.
Yeah, there's definitely a different problem, but this was a way to force. It got it working. So I could show you that test if you want to see it, or I could document it and send it to them. It's not the solution because something is wrong with the data somewhere with this scenario, with this facility.
Yeah, send me the username. And
you know this won't be true now when I go back to it.
That's what happens most of the time.
I'll get in the habit. Just slam me a few times. It's like if I can't repeat it, then it happens. Okay. All right. Anyway.
He also did some research on the tracing as well, but I told him that we'll probably start using post sharp. So if you can start when it checks on market. And what?
Staging.
It's in the anthem of post shop before. Not the first time.
Have you ever used that library before? Is the question.
Is it the first time you use this library?
Yeah, post shop.
Yeah, so what I did yesterday, research, different methods, and I started deploying staging. I installed SQL, I installed the websites, and configured I need to card the databases now, and we need to set up a DNS. Tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to talk to them because we connect to by the name you gotta get by acting, so I'll send it. So that's the problem.
All right. Well, do you have an ETA of when you're deploying the last sprint to staging?
Oh, I need about 2-3 hours to finish this. Just start with database, and I also need to change DNS, and I need to fix TFS the calling process. As more recently works. It's about 3 or 4 hours.
Are you targeting that today or?
Yeah, I'd like to target this today, but if I have time, I'm looking about 3 or 4 hours.
My end, I finished the onboarding phase 2, the SharePoint security mapping. I just got to test it a little bit more, and then I think we can move that. So in that case, all users, again, that's those that I can map, like mostly the admins and stuff like that. Those I can map because they get everything. But there are some that I actually did request for them to have access to certain libraries. But those that definitely like the admins, I know that they all get permissions to all their folders and all their libraries, so that I can do.
Right now, there's a spreadsheet or table, right, that you use to create the email notification in ConnectWise, right? It says if they're this, they should get this. If they're that, they should get that.
Yeah.
When there's a one-to-one, a clear relationship to a group based on that,
Okay. There's no clear relationship.
they help.
Because like what we do is we just set CAD tracker or wherever office, all that.
Right, but
there's
isn't
no-
that based on messages? If the email says set them up with Care Tracker,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Is there a Care Tracker AD group that it goes into?
That's an example that I give. CAD tracker, no, there's no AD for. Okay, CAD tracker is set outside. That's an example. So there's no, like admins. Definitely, admins get everything, so I can do it. The rest of them, as they come on, like maybe CMNs and all that stuff, I gotta see which libraries that they get. Some of them, like a lot of them get like dietary. Most of that, I think CMNs and stuff like get dietary, so I can say. But this actually, as it comes the way it is now, is very configurable. So if it comes to, hey, this person or this job code needs this group, I added a table, configure it, and going forward, they will get it.
Did you speak to the help desk to just see when the manual effort that they go through with the groups they use? Because if there's something that they do that's one-to-one, we should add it.
Okay.
Okay.
So that the next one will be the email, trying to do the email configuration. So
This is all for onboarding.
yeah. We installed helped Aaron install SQL 2014 on Station. Also, I also installed it so that we can actually do development locally without interrupting anything. So that's done. Spring Creek deployment has gone along. We just got the Pearl for the facility. We're going back and forth because most of the names were taken, but we got Spring Creek. We have the nursing, so that is what the URL will be, and I'll start building the websites for them. I'm gonna install SSRS on DevBox since we have the DevBox now. I'm gonna do that today, and also have to get data for John's test period. We'll talk about that. That's
For caseload?
for caseload. Yeah. It's been quiet actually. So I'm not getting a lot of duplicates, errors. Used to come a lot. getting that maybe more. One or two. Yeah, the first thing is it used to come a whole lot more. I'm not getting that.
It's not because it cleaned up.
It cleaned up, yeah.
How did it clean up?
But like I said, I'm not getting a lot
That means
that many requests.
that means they're getting used to it.
Yeah.
That's all it means. Yeah, we're out there with bad data. We've never cleaned it up.
I think we would probably have to go back and clean up.
Before we go live with AHS, we have to clean up. Right now, Global's gotten used to it and they know what they're doing, and that's a shame, but, but we can't go live with AHS before we do that whole resident cleanup. But we're doing system cleanup now after we gotta do that.
All right. That's it. That's it.
And then Ben said you can change
Oh.
two facilities.
Okay. Yeah, there are two facilities that AHS requested a name for. They didn't want blanket the short name that we had. So again, we went through the channel, passed through Ben approved it, and then we'll update it so that everyone is on the same page. So I'll do that later. Thanks.
Yeah, no rush.
So yesterday I debugged the Eastern Shore issue, which they're not able to add lookups online. So what I saw from the debugging is that it is a separate permission for add inline values, and it's not tied to the entity management that is like both. But what it looks
Do you
like
know
that
what permission
it
is?
seems that that facility doesn't have any permissions. I'm sorry, I mean that user.
But
That
even
user,
the
which is-
user was not able to any of the groups.
Yeah, I have a test account which is set up like
Oh, I'm sorry. So this user was not added. I didn't think you only create your TS user.
yeah.
Just add this user to the same group.
Right.
All the users get to correct.
Paul, when
Yeah, we signed
forget debug, right? On the simple test, we took the same user, gave them the exact same. Put them in two module groups. I don't know what you want to call them. Module groups versus entity groups, right? Okay, and then we put them in one facility, okay? And they were able to do the inline a facility that works in the facility group. Yeah, okay, we put them in a facility group and it works. We put them in this other facility group, which is configured from our view exactly the same as the other facility, just the only thing is it's tied to an Alabama region as opposed to a Florida region. Doesn't work. So it's the same, on the module level, it was the same group. We didn't even change that.
Maybe you did some sort of horizons.
So we did all the comparison. There's obviously something wrong that we're missing, but from all the comparisons side by side, we didn't see it. Okay?
You still don't know what the problem is, right?
I think I'll show you the code and I'll be able to
Okay.
figure out more. But what I saw from the debugging that I did it for Parklands, it did work. It did find the permission for Eastern Shore. It didn't find it.
So why didn't it find a permission? So you gotta go back and let's see the budget, find out where.
No, it's just looking for. Yes, it looks at the facility, at the region, at the groups, different permissions for this.
Yeah, so I think the same thing that is done for Parkland, see if you can, gather something that's over there. And see what's run through the same path that's what's missing. Okay.
What is the name?
Parklands and Eastern Shore.
Let's get it.
Next, I created a new notification for local values. So when a user adds a person in a position, administrators get notified and go into the group. I added a new notification for Reliant. When a user adds a doctor, for instance, so that Rex will get a notification and go into the group. I'm still testing it out. That's an issue with the Also, Reliant had two facilities that didn't have data converted, so I converted that data yesterday. It was for advanced and out of campus. So I graded their cases.
What happened?
Their advanced was a chow, and North Campus either had a wrong mapping or it was missing a mapping. So only with a mapping to it.
We're done with conversions, right? There's nothing we could really.
It's not.
Reliance, do you have any other portfolios you want to convert?
We have one facility we might be converting that we don't own that's the data. A Tybee client that we don't have the Tybee database on the outside. So we're done with our conversions. Those are the three systems.
Beacon.
So we have one user left on. When we convert that, if they're going.
Well, we're given the free 60 days they can mirror each other, and then
Aaron has all the steps, right?
We've done it so many times, so he got it. He's a pro. He can do it.
I think after Beacon we're done. Aaron, does that sound correct? Beacon is the last facility on all our DS.
Okay. Yeah, then there's villages.
But they're not going live anytime soon. Right, Mark?
They are.
Villages?
No. When they do, it's the right.
I don't think it's any kind of, they said no.
Are they using the old?
No.
They're dead. It's like Shark Tank. They're dead to us.
They're not using old, we don't know what to convert.
They were using old. They were sold, and in the sale, was it Debbie Brazil's in it? She opted out of going with the RTS because she lives in Curisban. So she opted out of going for the new. So she let the old die out when she took on ownership. She's not going for the new. So
They stayed off the old, like Aaron might check.
That's kind of.
Then,
Yes, I spent the majority of yesterday, especially in the morning, working with Max, trying to figure out the whole issue of why the filter wasn't working. We did figure out it was an IE9 error, and that I notified the people and so forth.
So one of the things that came up is they had identified it already.
They being
Developers. There was a backlog item, right? They had identified that issue before, so we need to have, some form of communication. According to what Paul says, it was in TFS, so we have to get in the habit of identifying, but it would be nice if they could let us know when they find a browser issue that's going to be impacting, that we could be notified also, not just with TFS, because we have the help desk getting the calls, and there was they spent on this.
did they find the solution?
He just deployed it, that's what he just said, first thing he said.
Not this
Right, but does that mean like it's
He's saying it's fixed,
okay in production?
that's what he's saying.
Okay, I'll test it afterwards.
There you go.
And you're able to use this
Use what?
Well, you have to recreate the issue.
I could not recreate issues. I don't have IE9. I have
Was
IE11.
Max able to, or you had to look at the user?
Yeah, what we did was we used Max's computer and we went into a Citrix account. And from there, we recreated the issue.
so you talking.
Test it there.
That's the same way. Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll go back there afterwards.
But you actually can preview site
Like with S12.
using your it has Malaysian mode.
But we haven't always seen it work, I thought.
It's like sometimes
Well,
relation mode you wouldn't see the error.
Sometimes,
Yeah,
but
that's-
in most cases,
most-
you can see the problems.
I think the best bet is that we should just have those, we have to get VMs or some, we have to get the environment set up, and we need to do a better job of
I shall have it
testing.
here for all the different browsers.
Yeah, I remember you gave me just try personal machine.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that issue was, figured out at least, I wouldn't say resolved, but I created some new marketing groups for Reliant. It doesn't really affect anything, the filter, that you had done, but I just made marketing groups for permission purposes. Closed a couple of tickets.
So Reliant or for HS?
I'm sorry, for AHS. Good catch. For AHS. And then closed a couple of tickets that were open. Still have a couple that are open now. And then today, are we meeting? We pushed it off.
I'm meeting with Paul at 11:30, so afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe meeting with Mark today. And again, trying to close a few more tickets. And just doing requests that come in from Jill and Roxy and whatever else.
Just going a little bit more to the AHS, so there's a new situation now. Historically, what had happened was AHS AHS regions were always one set of regions throughout, as opposed to global, which has 4 different definitions of regions, right? They're clinical, they're organizational, clinical, or regional, whatever you want to call it. Clinical, they have marketing, they have all these different regions. So we have marketer region groups set up for global based on what facilities they have access to. AHS never had that scenario. AHS just changed. Right, the RDOs were the same region. So we had 4 regions, right? So now they just made the change to 5. And at the same time, it appears Jill has requested that the marketers now have regions that are not in sync with the new 5 regions. That's a new scenario. So that's what Dan is referring to. So he has to set up what is similar to what he has in global for marketers. We have to do in AHS. And the experience for the marketers when they're on the system is basically they're going to now see their facilities in the filter drop-down facility filter that span regions. That's a new experience for them. In global, they've always seen that. They'll have one person will see something from Western PA, from Mid-Atlantic, from New York, whatever. Right? They'll see 1, 1, and 1. So over here, they always were seeing region 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now they're going to see facilities from region 1, facilities from region 2, and whatever.
But
Security works. It's the user experience. It's just a little different. That's it.
okay. But I was saying RDO region and marketing region
Are
should be
different.
separate. So the way
they
you said
weren't in HS.
okay.
There was one definition of regions.
Okay.
So now they're not.
No, the reason why you said it's spanning regions.
RDO. It's not, I don't even know if you want to call it RDO regions, by the way. But yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
now it now spans RDO regions. The way we see it in AMP. Just a clarification. Okay, so yesterday,
Simply.
okay, so yesterday, I mean, there was a lot of work on the monitoring and the seeing what's going on with complete processing and the whole thing stabilizing. So there's a lot of times we've done that. Also prepping for Monday meeting, we have the users. So we're gonna go over the in addition to the standard format, we're gonna go over the template. Curtis had added some tasks. Aaron also added, so I'd like also to add tasks, kind of do a group portfolio of the ConnectWise, just for the template. Okay, so all the things that you go through when we're adding to master entity. So if you take all the scenarios of what goes on, what has to be changed, we should have those as tasks. Not for regions, for adding portfolios, adding facilities.
You want those detailed.
Yeah, because we want to get this perfect. So each time we've added, it never comes through exactly the way we expect it. So all those items should be tasks. So we'll add them as task line items, and it'll be on the template. Now when we have a checklist, we should get it perfect. So that's with GP also, by the way. Curtis actually, I was surprised when we went to Curtis. He was like thrilled that we were doing this because he says I always forget one step, and the users are impacted. So go through that thing. We got a template. If you want to look at the way it's taking shape, Curtis added a bunch of tasks. Go into each ticket, add the tasks. It should be really a perfect process. We also had a phone call with PCC yesterday about a partnership program. So we got the paperwork. We want to sign up with them. The goal over here is that they do have the ability to send an inbound referral to PCC. So it's a pending admission. So we're looking to getting that at the documentation. So that'll be the next step. Also, it's filling out the paperwork, NDAs, and then they have different types of inbound and outbound. So we're looking into that. Had that call with Justin. Also, all scripts have been following up. I'm waiting for additional information from them, but I haven't received it yet. But that's more on the contractual side. It's nothing that I think that directly impacts you at this point. Also, I noticed Brockton was moved into, and that's all smooth. When did that happen?
Friday.
Yeah. It was just a quick one. It was.
What?
Yeah, it was all smooth. with the exception of the notifications.
Oh,
Aaron and I fixed notifications. So for some reason, when you move them from Apex to
It's simple because they're only set up for champion facility.
operations.
can you
Remove them to-
add this to your documentation? Or will
Yeah, it shouldn't happen frequently, but yeah,
But if it does,
yeah, like Paragon, for example, was would have been AHS to Paragon.
So yeah, please add because now it's fresh on our minds.
Yeah.
A
So-
couple months down the
so-
line, we might
So
forget.
based on this, it seems like it was real smooth moving Brockton. So I wonder if we should be considering Deer Meadows and the others moving out of Apex. Because the model really should be that every client should be their own portfolio. It seems like we've gone real smooth then.
Yeah, it
That's
was
it, like I said,
pretty
you know,
So
I
we have,
just
we have two left there, right?
Yeah, two of
Beacon
them
and
are
Deer Meadow?
not Beacon, Deer Meadow and Sinai.
Deer Meadow and
Sinai.
Sinai. Sinai is definitely should be, don't they have the business group after that?
Probably, they all seem to.
So that was it for the SNO piece, yesterday piece, and today we're gonna do a retrospective on just what was going on based on the last couple of weeks of the issues and then hopefully to go forward plans, just to keep AMP stable.
done.
So yesterday, I finished the superior caseload piece. What I ended up doing was I have the ability now to create my own portfolio. So I can say, only superior, even though it's part of AHS, they only want to use Medicare out of the caseload too. So I can define that. And then AHS, the rest of AHS, is going to do Medicare and Medicaid. And at the same time, the process just runs once for AHS and does Medicare and Medicaid, then it runs again for Superior, and it really does Medicare.
The terminology of its own portfolio, meaning you're able to group,
I can do a region, a portfolio, every
Or
facility we
facility.
have, a single facility. I can do it on as large
you
scale.
create your
as
own
small
groups
scale.
and you follow business rules based on the grouping.
I think we're okay.
So that allows it to be
Does that
completely dynamic.
So that means that going forward, we now have the flexibility of mixing and matching in AMP any of the configurations in caseload, and you can configure your system to follow.
I know we have something with Graceland also coming up, so
What's that?
All we have to do then is exclude it from the rest of global, make Graceland its own thing essentially, right?
Is Graceland different than the rest of global?
yeah, I gotta look at it, but
Because it's in
Graceland,
Tennessee, I think it's the first facility in Tennessee.
yeah, Graceland either they
Rules are
want
probably different.
projection. I gotta take, but there's a slight difference in Graceland. I'm trying to call. I'll call the lady.
Okay, let me know what
Yeah.
that story is.
Okay.
Your business rules are based on which payers, or there's other, or there are other business
No,
rules
no,
also?
just
Just for payers. And yours are, I mean, we have, in global, we have Medicare.
Yeah.
And now we have 1% of Medicare, Medicaid.
Oh, and I also have to account for if we're going forward or not, which I do.
Oh, okay.
And I can, it's all set up forever, right?
And so Graceland, what's different about this?
Graceland, I think they wanted I know that's okay. Global does projections on Medicaid and Medicare, right?
No, Medicare.
Just Medicare.
Medicare. Graceland wants to do Medicaid and Medicare.
That's exactly like the other.
Right, it's the opposite, though, yeah.
Oh, I got you.
You see, yeah, that's
I got,
Same
okay.
thing, because it's in a different state.
But it'll fit.
Absolutely.
Okay,
But
cool.
Tennessee must have different Medicaid rules.
yeah. So they want to do both.
Alright, that's fine. So that's no problem. It'll take me 10 minutes to set it up.
So again, we gotta test it out, and
Yeah.
then
We voted tonight. Or
It's fixed.
Yeah,
That's
I figured.
We learned. We got
Yeah.
in trouble now. I know how to use it now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so now
I
it's-
I watched the video.
I started harassing Ben Steinfeld this morning about stuff he's got running.
But yeah, we finished.
but we don't
It's a
have
cool
full
tool.
information. Or,
We do.
We do. Now you can.
so nothing was lost. The same.
Uh,
Monday,
those-
Tuesday,
those-
and until
yeah, I'm still configured. So
Like a couple, like a day. But yeah, it's good now.
it will
But
start
you don't see
gathering from.
historic. Does it look historically, or
It
this looks
doesn't
like-
cross over.
Okay.
It's a new
So what
database.
happens? So now let's talk about NAC. Okay, so we're learning from our mistakes. So now we know that next week we're moving from Muncie to NAC, right?
on Wednesday. Yes.
So what happens with Ignite and also our capability of running reports to see when you're looking at performance, you want to see that things are seamless. Is there any way
The database name's not changing, right?
It's the same name and database name is the same.
So then we should be able to unlink it and then relink it without.
No. The database name is changing. The server name is changing.
But he is asking about database name, not about server.
No.
The
This is
database
based
name.
on the server name.
It's based on the.
It's based on the server. Our configuration is based on the server.
and it's the actual server, not the CNAME that
Nah,
points to the
Nah,
server?
it's an
You
actual
can't
server.
do that?
I don't know. Maybe we can find out. That's,
So why can't we use it? Because
Well, we
that
should
over
use it.
here, our goal over is that when they're gonna have a CNAME on top up front that's going to point to either Muncie or NAC. That's down the road. Right?
Yeah, you definitely should be able to use name.
Yeah, so
We'll see.
So
Well,
we'll do that now, sooner rather than later. Get Ignite configured to be working off the CNAME so that when we go to when we go to the NAC, it should.
Should transition.
when we go to, if it's by CNAME, when we go to NAC, we don't have to do anything.
Is it the
If it's by
machine?
CNAME.
If it's
Is it
by
is it
CNAME.
the
It's not by
machine CNAME
CNAME.
or is
No.
it the global CNAME?
It has to be the global scene.
Right.
Yeah, so we don't have to do anything. If we're able to configure
that's-
by CNAME, we don't have to do anything.
Unless Ignite reads the host name from the
That's
system.
what we're gonna
Well,
find out.
because, so wait a second, because when you go from Muncie to NAC, you're changing blades, obviously. So then you have to.
The virtual-
That
the-
piece is going to have to.
Yeah, the
Is that,
virtualization piece we
is that
change.
configuration? That's usually what they.
That's on this side though, because you have to identify the blade because it looks at the V center.
Yeah.
So it goes in and it says, I have to look at this V center, and in this V center, all
So
these
that's manual.
hosts exist. Yeah.
But the reporting should still remain seamless. Will it
I'm
know?
not sure. I don't think so. I think because it's gonna, if there's a disconnect,
It would be cool if we can do by CNAME.
we can probably call them.
Yeah.
That's easy.
It would be cool if we can do, if we do by CNAME.
So heads up on the Wednesday, and our goal on this is that we should be able to see seamlessly what's going on over the last from NAC and Muncie. And actually, right now, this change that we just experienced was Muncie to Muncie. So performance, we weren't as concerned. We expected performance based on the versions. But when we go to NAC, we don't know what to expect.
Reports, you want to start.
Well, you know that
yeah,
I
we
did
should
just wonder
data.
if it.
this
if it's
speed comparison,
smarter.
and in NAC it 10 times slower than in months. So,
Disk speed.
What, just because the sand is old? That's the
I don't know,
old sand.
What was your test?
I used some utility test to read and write speed.
When?
I did some
Monday. When we
So are they giving high tier? Are they putting you in tier with this?
Yeah, but
I think that's
we'll talk
right.
about this.
Because the problem is you don't want users to be experiencing.
Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
Okay.
We shouldn't be moving if that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. We won't
If there's a problem, we should have.
move with anything
All right, thanks, guys.
Send me that link for Grace then. Because then we can do them both at the same time.
Curtis. Okay, yay. I added a bunch. What do you want to say to me? Walker's thinking. He's a funny guy. But yeah, let's see if we
Tell
can.
him he must be knocked out. How's the market doing?
Ask him if he's. Tell him he can't see his privacy screens.
Ask him if he has to go to Starbucks to do trading or he's okay now. Try to call him.
Okay. Paka, guys. Sorry, another day. Bye.